Okay, so here's a DIY. We're going to paint this front bumper because it has a few scratches. It was clipped here and here, also scratches underneath. So we're going to prep whole bumper, put it into primer, sand the primer down, and then paint it at home. So let's get it on. For this purpose we're going to use sandpaper grades 120, 240 and 320. So basically we're going to 120 all of the rough scratches, follow that by 240, and later by 320 the whole bumper. So we have to feather all of these dimples out, all of those scratches, so everything will be nice and perfect. Also, we're not going to prime areas inside here because they're hard to scuff and it can potentially peel, so we're going to tape that off later. Like, we got those cracked parts out, then we just need to feather everything out. You don't want any hard edges, you need to feather everything out. I'm sanding this with 120, later on everything with 240 and then 320. Back in. So basically now we sanded everything with 120 that we wanted. We got most of the scratches already out. We just need to have to feather it out with 220 through the whole bumper and later with 320. So I put now the 240 on and let's continue this. Okay, so now we sanded everything with 240 grit. I'm going to mess this off, so I won't prime this because it's under the license plate. We have to scuff all of these edges down to here. We're going to tape it off. Also, we're going to tape off inside here, so we need to scuff this edge. And there's also a previous run clear here, so we're going to have to sand that off. And the scuffing will be done with 320 and some Scotch-Brite red sponge. So back to it. So we're going to use red Scotch-Brite on everything that's shiny. So basically we sanded everything with 320 now. Got all of the scratches, dimples, rock chips, everything out. Now we're just going to scuff, and then later we're going to blow it off with air, clean it up with anti-silicone, and then we're going to spray primer on this thing. So basically I just noticed this hair crack. We have to sand everything down to the bare plastic, because if we don't, that'll come up later when we're going to prime and paint, and it'll look ugly. Also, somebody wrote their name here, might as well be me. Okay, now so we used compressed air on it and blown all of the dirt out, and I've wiped it down with some anti-silicone. Now we're going to tape off these little crooks and the license plate holder, so we're not going to prime that, and then we're going to be ready to mix up our primer. And I'm also going to tape up this thing here and this here, so we don't want any primer on this because it might peel, and then we're going to have a peeling front bumper, which is no bueno. Okay, so now everything is prepped. The bumper is sanded, cleaned. We're just going to blow it off one more time just before we're going to put the primer on. We taped off any sensitive areas that is prone or we do not want primer to get on. So that's it. Now I'm going to mix some primer and we're going to paint this. Okay, so now I've sanded the primer with 320, 500, and then wet sanded it with a 800 sponge and a Scotch-Brite, so everything is nice and smooth, there's no imperfections. I've washed it with the water, now I have to clean it again with anti-silicone and then we'll be ready to paint it. Okay, so now we have painted the bumper. I've put on 3 coats of the color, the base coat. It's a waterborne base coat, so we need the heat gun to dry it up real good so it doesn't peel later on. I'll go grab the gun that I painted with. So this is the gun that I painted with. It's from AliExpress. It costed me like 50 euros. It's quite a good copy of SATA. Sprays real nicely, as you see. So also I'm using that tiny little compressor. I think it's 25 liters maybe, so I need to stop between coats to make it fill up. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. So this is your DIY home painting style. You don't need a booth, you don't need nothing fancy, you just need some skills, and you get them by training, nothing else. So I'll dry this and then we'll go on to clearing the bumper. Okay, now this is the result of 2 coats of clear coat. We got that deep shine. There are some dirt nips here and there which we will polish when it will be dry, but for now I'm kind of pleased with how it turned out for a home project that you want to spruce up your little car. I think it's alright. So yeah, if you have any questions, write it down. I'll try to get at you as soon as possible. So that's it, peace out.